I call
Seeing we're only allowed one.
Brett Hudson.
Well, this government is committed to continuing New Zealand in the direction that's seen us grow faster than most of our trading partners in the OECD. Over 190,000 jobs created over the last 4 years and another 150,000 forecast across the next 4. And Mr Chair, we're doing this through our business growth agenda. Whether it's unlocking new markets, strengthening capital markets, harnessing natural resources, investing in innovation, investing in skilled and safer workforces, investing in infrastructure, this government is committed to keeping New Zealanders on the pathway to prosperity. Now, across the way there, Mr Chair, they don't even understand business. Across there, we just witnessed last week a trumped-up policy from Labor championing small business. What was that, Mr Chair? It was a re-announcement of the government's discussion paper around provisional tax payments released in May. They are bereft of ideas, bereft of leadership, and quite frankly, bereft of talent. While we here, sir, are focused on doing the things that count to keep improving the lot for New Zealanders and their families. And I just want to raise, sir, within this ambit of the business growth agenda, infrastructure. A few speakers ago, the professor gave a lecture to us around the paucity of infrastructure investment, particularly broadband. Well, I don't know which library he consulted, Mr Chair, but clearly he didn't avail himself of the services of the Parliamentary Library. For if he had, he would have learned that in these appropriations, the government has made appropriation for a further $210 million for ultra-fast broadband from the Future Investment Fund to raise coverage to 80% of the population. An additional $100 million from the Telecommunications Development Levy to further increase coverage under the rural broadband infrastructure, and an additional $50 million to take care of mobile black spots. This is a government that is investing in infrastructure that enables Kiwis and Kiwi businesses to be better connected and take advantage of the opportunities that are there in this increasingly more connected world. And they make a real difference, Mr Chair. For instance, in Timaru, ICT is now the third largest sector in that area. And one example, an IT development company in Timaru who had a single employee before the UFB rollout began, now has a dozen and is able to offer their services not only around New Zealand but across the world. Or the doctor in Whangarei, who now no longer needs to take his patients through an appointment system at the local hospital for retina scans, but can do them in his practice and send the information on. Or the panel beater, sir, the panel beater on the North Shore, who can take photos of damage, transmit them electronically to the assessor and the insurance company, resulting in the approval coming through quicker, the customer's car back on the road sooner, and a far better, more efficient business for that panel beater. It's making a real difference, sir. The ICT industry is growing at 9% per annum, year on year. It now contributes about 1.7% of GDP. Sir, that's 1/3 of dairy contribution to New Zealand. In one industry, 1/3. That's without counting the wine industry, sir, or the beef and lamb industry, or oil and gas exports, sir, or kiwi fruit exports, or all of the other things that we're doing across the New Zealand economy. And within that ICT industry, exports, Mr Chair, are growing at 14% per annum over the last 6 years and contributed approximately $930 million in exports in 2014. So this is a government that is focused on diversifying our economy, creating opportunities for Kiwi businesses, and is making investments in infrastructure and opening markets and strengthening our capital markets to ensure investment flows in that permit businesses to grow and to hire more people, one that is focused on creating a skilled workforce to meet the needs of a diversifying and growing economy. Particularly, I'll mention the ICT post-grad academies that the Minister announced recently in Christchurch and in Auckland, and with an announcement to come soon, sir, on that study in Wellington. So this government is committed to continuing to grow New Zealand, to continue to offer our people and our business brighter prospects with sound investments, sound policies, sound actions.
Ko